Attention, Florida drivers. The Sunshine State is reportedly selling your personal information for tens of millions of dollars. Wait, they didn't tell you? They don't have to. A number of Florida news outlets now reporting that the state made more than $60 million over the last year selling drivers' names and addresses and birth dates and more. A spokesman for the State Department of Highway Safety, and Motor Vehicles reportedly says the practice is perfectly legal and that Social Security numbers and driver's license numbers are not for sale. Whew. Joining us now, Prosecutor Josh Hanshaft and the criminal defense attorney Drew Findlay. Really? You can just sell that stuff? I mean, it's not like, I guess you could find that sort of thing online with most people, but...
I was going to say, what's the big deal? Anything, any way that they are selling, you can go right online, boom, it's right there. Everybody knows your house, how much you paid, what's your name, your birth date. It's all there. So I don't understand what the big uproar about.
I don't understand, Drew, if that's the case, why anybody would pay $60 million over the last year for such a dang thing.
That's exactly right. And anytime the government gets involved, I have a problem. But you know what? It's part of the trend. In the 60s and 70s, people fought for their freedom, both government officials, lawyers, citizens, and then we started giving it away. We became complacent with losing our rights because now, with good faith, cops can come busting into your house, and we're giving information away about ourselves on Facebook, etc. But now the government, this is just another extension of the government putting their nose where it shouldn't be, and that is giving away our private information.
Drew.
They say that as long as it's not used for harassment purposes. But how do you know that down the road it's not going to be used for harassment purposes?
Joe, here you go. Listen, like you get a little crazy that they're busting down your door. The purpose of the statute is the fact that, you know what you got? You got here somebody, either whether it be insurance agencies, law enforcement agencies, everybody needs to get that information. If someone's collecting it, you give me one reason why you're going to say, you know, they're collecting it, they're putting it together, they're now putting, you know, the data collection, then disseminating it. Why shouldn't they make any money in this economy if there's a problem? They're doing all that work for necessary reasons, such as if a child is abducted, where does the cops go to get the information?
There's
millions of reasons why.
So that's the issue.
The corporations are insurance agencies. The insurance agencies that say, you know what? If I'm an insurance agent and somebody's saying, I want insurance, I want you to cover me for my car, but meanwhile this person doesn't have a license, you think it's possible that maybe that information is necessary for the insurance company to know? So selling it because someone's going to make money in this business?
No, we're not talking about them selling it on an individual basis. We're talking about the issue is they're selling it on a mass basis to private companies that are using it for their own purposes, which is to make money.
Look who's listed as who's selling. It's insurance agencies, it's private investigators, it's people who do work that say, yes, I admit, you know what, the statute has to be narrowly defined and not be vague. I think as it's written, it's a little vague to say who can get their hands on that. So I think that, yes, it needs to be tightly construed. But the bottom line is that that information does need to be out there, and the person who's putting it together does need to get paid, and the money they're making, why not make money?
Under the statute, the information cannot be sold to a company that plans to solicit any business, such as companies that want you to come to their ice cream store or companies that want you to buy their vehicles. That's according to the person in charge there.
And what a ludicrous statement that was. I read that as well. And you know what? It's the secondary way that this information is disseminated, because the first party gets it and then disseminates it to the second party, and then you lose track of it. And they say that it can't be used for harassment purposes.
And that's where things need to be construed, where someone, the second party who's getting it, who knows if it's a pedophile, a pervert, who's getting that information, that needs to be said. You know what? Who's ever getting this information has a legal obligation that if it's being disseminated again, it's got to go before some judge or something. But I do think that making the money isn't the issue here.
Last word, go ahead.
Let me say this. Defense attorney or prosecutor, one of the biggest problems we have in our system today, criminal justice system, is ID fraud. Anything that accentuates the possibilities of that taking place needs to be shut down, because that may be the #1 crime in America right now.
Drew, Josh, thank you. Drew and Josh, thank you both.
Thanks.
The United States has poured billions of dollars into Afghanistan over the past 10 years. I mean, billions and billions and billions. But now there's word many of those taxpayer dollars are ending up in the wrong hands. In fact, one congressman says millions and millions of dollars a day are stolen or wasted. Millions per day. 10 million a day. The details of that are next.